tanta. Alle tulla
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Good Show, episode 40. We're here with the biggest news show in esports. As always, every week, Tuesday night, we deliver. Thanks all for tuning in. My name is Semmler. I'll be your host for the show this evening, and sitting at my right-hand man, it is Mr. Harding, James Too Good. How you doing, mate?
Fucking brilliant.
As always.
Just woke up.
Yeah, no, you don't look like it.
Well, that's good.
And sitting in the corner, we have our analysts for the first section of the show, which is going to be Dota 2 for all of you. We're changing things up a little bit tonight. Not going to be StarCraft 2 that we're starting off with. We'll be getting into the Dota. But Bruno sitting in the middle, Mike Vansriel Adebisi on the right, and Weppas on the left. Weppas.
Smile, Weppas. People are saying that you look too sad.
Did you see that? They were criticizing your your mopiness on stream.
Come on, it's like,
aren't you happy to be here?
You have to be like,
This isn't the dentist, all right? This is a fucking good place to be. So,
One would think.
You know how many people want to be sitting there just because they want to be sitting next to me?
Probably quite a few.
You're lucky.
double-digit number, I think.
Yeah,
At least.
Maybe.
No, the nets don't go that high.
Triple.
2 is
Triple.
Nine.
Yeah,
By the way, our thingy has frozen.
all the stream viewers, they wouldn't have noticed unless you...
What froze?
What, bro?
It hasn't frozen.
All right. Anyway, let's
Hasn't
continue with
frozen.
the show.
We'll leave it at
That's
that.
okay.
But as I'm sure you all saw, we have our new addition, which is, of course, the producer cam that we have when we start the show off. You all know who's sitting in the producer chair tonight, and that is
Wait, there's no more cam anymore.
There's no more cam anymore, but at the beginning of the show... What? At the beginning of the show, they could see you sitting there, motherfucker. All right, whatever. Trance is on production, as you all know, because we're arguing already. And Opie is actually here to back him up in the corner. So
Hi,
Opie.
Opie.
From Twitch as well.
Yeah, we actually
What's up,
brought
Opie?
in Trance's boss from Twitch TV, Opie.
Yes.
So he's going to be overseeing Trance, making sure Trance does a good job.
Yeah, he's here to make sure things are straight. Give his expert analysis and expert...
If you do
Help
good,
the
you might get a
trance.
raise.
Are you the one who to determine that, Bruno?
Yeah, of course.
You're the one who's making sure you got you cracking the whip?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, guys, this is the news show after all, so I figure we might as well get into it. Before we get into the real news, we have a little bit of a studio thing that's particular to us here. We actually finally released our sub icons. Now, these were made by subs, actual viewers of the studio. We put it out there as a competition. You could win prizes depending on how many of your icons that you made that we actually picked. Now, I don't have the list. now that I did all that, I don't actually have the list of the people who actually made the icons. But shout outs to all of you. I think. Do you know anybody off the top of your head?
Okay, so you asked the guy sitting here without a computer,
Mary.
with nothing.
Mary was
Alright,
it-
this is-
Paul
this
Mary
is
was the
Brick
guy
after
that
all.
did...
Who Mary? Yeah.
There's
that's
another
right.
guy with like Brink in his name, I
Yeah.
think. Do you remember that one? Brink
Whatever.
something. So he did
Dude,
good.
Humeri actually did really well yesterday,
Humeri-
the other night in the CSGO match.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
He was on my team. We won thanks to him.
Shout out to
boss.
Paul Mary.
I mean,
Not only
great
good
at
icons-
icons, great at CS. This guy's like great all around.
Yeah.
Weppas, how do you feel about your icon?
It's amazing.
Do you have
Of course.
them? Do you have
Yeah,
them?
I have them up
Yeah.
here. We can see them all here. And also,
Bam.
guys, so if we can take down the news thing so we can see them all. The way this works, if any of you guys aren't familiar with like the Kappa face, you know, and all that sort of thing that you're seeing pop up in chat all the time, is you type these words here on the left. These are the keywords for the icons that are featured on the right here of the
If
page.
you're a subscriber.
If you're a sub.
And
If
these work.
you're a sub.
They work globally on Twitch TV. So if you want to
Exactly.
go be an asshole in some other stream and just spam Semmler's face on there,
Exactly, man.
you can do that.
The Hellspawn
And
one
The
is
Hellspawn
really
one is
useful.
the best. The Hellspawn one's my favorite.
But seriously, the most underused one is easily Drasko's one. That one's amazing.
Jaskel's
Walter
also-
White.
It's amazing. It's the fucking picture.
Dude, it is
Why,
so
why
good.
aren't people
I mean,
using that one? It's so good.
Still, like Hellspawn and Newman, like they have
Hellspawn's
amazing
really good.
icons. James's is pretty good too, actually. 2DG.
And if you're
James
watching...
is really happy. Is this like the first time James has actually seen it? I don't know.
You didn't? Did you have a word in the selection process? Did you get to vote on any of these?
And when Trance gets to do anything, it's like when Trance gets to do anything, you know it's basically it's got a much quality to it. It's his clothing line, which is where he only wears Puma and
Adidas.
The face stays here, so I was
it's like I give up. I've given up a long time ago. I'm sure Trance though had a few of him, and he was like, no.
Trance actually had a Trance had a photo shoot for his, and then he privately
I noticed you
contacted a
actually
viewer
used
to
the photo
have
I
his
took.
design.
No way. You didn't use that one.
It
was there, though.
Oh,
no.
Adebisi.
Vanity, your name is Adebisi.
That's low.
That's a damn lie.
But I think mine's fitting anyway. So
Yeah.
Yours is
don't
good.
mind.
I think they're all quite fitting. Like, so.
I like mine a lot, actually. That's a good one. Got that from my Facebook. Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and hop into the general news. So tonight, as I said earlier, the main topic is going to be Dota 2, but we have some general news we're going to get into first. And first on the docket is Richard Lewis is actually going to be starting a new esports show of his own. Esports Heaven is its name. And to start things off, I believe he's going to be talking about shoutcasting and what it has to do, what goes into it, the pros, the cons, what you need to do to excel. And actually his co-host for the first show is going to be Red Eye. So,
Wait.
yeah, that was...
Weren't those two guys supposed to be on Chan
Man
show?
I know, that was the first thing that popped in mind when you read that article. But apparently, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I don't know. What do you guys think about
What's
it?
this? Richard Lewis's show?
What's the
Richard
show
Lewis's
called?
show.
All right,
It's
so
called Esports Heaven.
So basically, all you need
Esports
to know,
Heaven,
you need to know is that they've got Streamgasm involved that are fucking brilliant.
That's right. Yeah.
Wait, what?
All right, so Streamgasm were a group of English guys. The main guy, James, people I think nick him Duffy, is something like out of Monty Python. Okay, and now you should check him out. I followed him a long time ago. I was like, holy shit, something good has come out of England, right? And it was Streamgasm. And they did like some reviews on like multiplayer walkarounds. They also did some stuff at DreamHack. They did some interviews, and I spoke to them there, and I was like, hey guys, like I think you guys should be in front of a camera together. You know, I was like, where do you all live? And they're like, well, I have a full-time job, I live here. And then some guy was like, oh, I'm part-time and I live here, and whatever. And you know, we helped out. Beyond the Summit a little bit, just helping them in terms of like what equipment they should buy, and Trance helped them a lot in terms of that, and we spoke to them a little bit about like how we run this side, and I was like, hey, I'm really interested if you guys want to do it, to like kind of talk to you, and I'm a little bit like, oh no, I didn't get to work with them, but I think that Richard Lewis, who's one of the better people in the reporting scene and on camera these days, saw the opportunity to work with Streamgasm, and I think they're brilliant. But they are a lot more casual, fun, as in their games that they do cover are more like Call of Duties and, you know, the kind of Counter-Strikes and the FPSs, as opposed to like they did their first StarCraft interviews, the DreamHack just gone, winter. But yeah, I follow them on Twitter and I check out what they do, and I really enjoy what they do as a team. So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you know where we can find their content?
They have a YouTube page.
Is it just Streamgasm? Can people find it like YouTube/Streamgasm?
Yeah, I'm just going to go check it now.
Yeah.
So it's like youtube.com/Streamgasm. And a lot of it is just like, you know, they're doing the Call of Duty championships, and they do interviews and they do walkarounds at like I-48. And I just enjoy watching something which is very British comedy come together. So I think with Richard Lewis and these guys on camera, it's going to be a great show. I mean, it's either going to be great, good, or great like how we are, which is where you don't fucking know what's going to happen next, so you have to keep watching, or it's still going to be bad but great. So I think it's good, and I think Richard Lewis saw a good opportunity there, and the UK scene needs something like this. You know, it needs something where there potentially could be a lot of entertainment and good presenters, and you know, to talk about this kind of stuff. And
what do you think about their first topic? And the fact that Red Eye is going to be co-hosting on this, what is up with shoutcasting? Is it just, you know...
Oh yeah, but
is this show kind of more like
it seems like
the
more of a talk
executives,
show,
where like every show has like a topic, and then that's kind of the show? It's not like a weekly news thing. Like,
it seems to be the case, because what I saw the original link was that it's a news show, but this seems like more of a discussion show. Like, let's bring up a topic and let's we each have our experience in the field, and let's go ahead and bring our experience
But
to the fore.
it might be something where they're using the expertise of Red Eye and Richard Lewis more to start with, and then later on the other guys will find their places. So I doubt it's like a thought out product where they've got a year worth of, like they want to run this for a year. I think they want to get on camera together because they know it's good. So.
Well,
who knows what the show's going to be like? But when is it? Tomorrow?
It's tomorrow at 20, actually.
Yeah.
So tomorrow at 8 p.m. 20.
They're trying to go on top of full of steam, man.
Well,
They
fuck
are.
them. What about
Wow.
the pricks?
Sorry.
Worse, don't watch it. No, it's good. I hope it's funny.
Only watch if you have 2 screens.
Yeah, 2 screens. Yeah, exactly.
Mute
Mute them, keep full steam going, but just give them the viewer numbers. Aye. But yeah, definitely tune in for that. I'm going to be watching it personally because Richard Lewis, I love his work, so I really want to see what he's going to crank out with this. But also that happened recently this last weekend was actually a game that we don't talk about too often on the show because it seems like there isn't an enormous amount of news or that's making big waves in the scenes. But the Han Tour finals were last weekend.
Yikes.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally
So,
cringe.
Literally cringe. I tuned in for 5 minutes and I had to turn it off because I think the first thing that I saw was the MC standing under a basketball hoop
Yes.
in some Vegas high school, it seemed.
It was not a high school. It was.
It was
If
a
it was
suite.
it was a $25,000 a night high school.
That's $25,000. Okay. But all right, what I saw is she was just standing there. The lighting was. I mean, they had some cool idea, but like it was the lights that were shining through the screen.
Did
So
they
it's
have
like, okay,
lights?
it's a PC event because I can see PC screens being shown here, but I can't see who's actually talking to me, and it just seemed, And then they went to the commentators, and the commentators were poorly lit. The commentators, it seemed very cringeworthy, and I think it actually made it to the top of Reddit cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it did.
So,
Well, I mean, probably you should show just a little bit.
wait, you can go ahead and show. a
Did
little
you
bit.
have?
Yeah, you
footage?
kind of
Alright.
have to because some people probably didn't see it. Yeah, just a little bit.
Or you can
I-
show
Oh,
the
no, I
best
have
part
the
of
pause.
the intro
I
where
mean,
someone walks in front of the
just
camera.
go to 12:30 or something like that. That's if you show 1 minute after that. It's,
No, the intro was there, like the 6 minutes 30. That's the marking.
6 minute 30, but the
that
plugin isn't
when
updated on the
someone-
PC.
Well, yeah, when
Is
he's
that when
like,
someone-
"Welcome to
Camera?
Las Vegas," and
Welcome
it's
to-
just like, "Oh my lord!"
the atmosphere
was
they
something.
had, they remind me of these 80s movies about computers like Tron, where
It-
they
yeah,
try
it-
to get a dark arcade
It seemed,
parlor,
yeah, it seemed
and
like
suddenly
some,
like smoke and some random lights,
This-
lots of green.
some
Did, you,
like,
did you see the post, by the way, from MilkFed?
Yeah.
The community
Yeah.
manager,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, we're not going to have a live audience because we're going to bring out some extra production value. And it's like,
Well, what I
where
have,
did that production value
what I
go?
have here is actually the post of apology
the follow up,
Yeah.
right?
from
Oh.
MilFat, the
Well,
follow up coming
I
into
mean,
this. There
let's
was a
be
follow
fair.
up.
Try to put yourself in Han's mind, right? And then whoever was organizing this. So you have this idea, and the idea they have is we want to go and make this a very exclusive event so that the players that go there feel like the royalty because they're going to this very high-end luxury suite.
Basketball court.
No.
No. Okay,
Here's-
sorry. Go ahead,
here's the
continue.
thing. Like, if you find another pictures, like, they have literally the only possible shot in that suit
That makes
that
it
make it look bad because
We
if
called
you-
it a suite.
what?
What is it?
We call it.
Suit, yeah, not suit. Suit.
Yeah, it's sweet.
There you
yeah.
Yeah, it's suit. It's literally the only shot because it has like a very cool bar, like with drinks and a very large living room. I mean, it's really, really nice. The venue, the place there. It's but they chose to go for the hoop, and it really looked like.
Am I tuning in for a basketball final?
Yeah, and I mean, if I was a player there and I wasn't looking all the time at that shot, I'd probably be impressed with the place because it was a really nice place. But because it's just 10 players there, or 20, I don't know how many teams were there, and millions, thousands of viewers, it was completely
Millions of viewers?
No, millions, no, not millions, thousands.
So,
10 of thousands.
anybody else got
I
anything
don't
to
think
say on
they
it?
even broke
I
that.
mean, I think it's kind of more interesting just to
Before I
talk more
kill it.
about the future of Han and is there going to be a season 2 and
Well,
who's going to produce it, and of course, Scott Valencia and all that jazz. So I'm not really an expert.
if we take the milk
milk
fat post, if we take the milk fat post, already he's talking about what they're going to build for the next season, and the fact that they're going to take in external production. They're going to have they're going to hire production that are going to come in and take care of all that, the stats, the team info, all that sort of thing, running the event, and they want to, essentially what I gathered from the post is hire somebody to do it for them. Because
Maybe that's a job for NASL right there.
Hero level production.
Hero level production, possibly.
Yeah, so basically, Hontor, if you guys, okay, all right. So essentially, what they put on, I mean, you have to think about what makes a good esport, and first and foremost, is did the players, were they treated fine? Did they win prize money? Did they have a fair competition? You know, it's still the best thing to go to a LAN event and play against the best people in the world, and the best people in the world were there, and they did play on LAN and they played for prize money. So from the player's perspective, sure, you know, you can't be too angry about the whole situation. In terms of the production, yeah, it was like someone asked me what it was like, and I posted it was like an esport event, parody bracket comedy. And that actually made it to the front page of Heroes of New Earth, and people were just like, "Who the fuck's James?" And I was like, "I can't even bother to reply." But yeah, it was fucked up. They had like a smoke machine with no lighting. They had everything like wrong in terms of camera stuff. The overlays were fine. Heroes of New Earth had done a lot of updates to their game to try and make the game as like competitive as possible. Like there's like, you know, all the GPM down the bottom and all this kind of stuff. And they even like done some stuff that I hadn't seen for a while, which is like they actually changed the map design and made it softer on your eyes, similar to Dota 2, which I thought was hilarious. But in terms of S2 games, without knowing anybody there, I can only really assume that they don't kind of get on a real level how to do their jobs. I mean, it all started a long time ago when I designed the Bloodline Champions tour, which was a tour that was meant to use stops across Europe and just put in prize money and booth space to make it nice and easy and have points per stop going into a finals. And I ended up speaking to one of the people that used to work at S2 Games. There was Hazan, Detonator, and Feel the Thrill. So I was kind of co-involved in helping them adapt my project into what was the Hon tour that Hazan originally was working towards to give it to Hon. And it was just taking so long. Hazan got let go, apparently, because he was... S2 Games would probably be like, from what I felt was, oh yeah, he was unreliable, shit at his job, made a mess of it. It was meant to have started ages ago. Detonator came in, who is an ex-Quake guy. He worked there and worked with Hazan, but under Hazan. So he took over and tried to, what he said, would clean up the mess. Then he ended up being let go, okay? And I'm like, you know, Hazan, okay, a bit crazy, Detonator, pretty solid guy, you know, that's weird, yeah? And all the meanwhile, Laura from Hon was hired into the company because one of the investors that put money into S2 Games, she's the daughter of that guy. She got the position which basically oversaw everybody under that side of the industry in terms of marketing, which was esports. And I'm like, well, that's fucking retarded. And they came up to like DreamHack Winter one time, and we had BLC booth, and our booth was fucking awesome with spectator area. And I had to lend them PCs from us. No, not lend them PCs, lend them viewing screens, because they didn't think of anything, so they could broadcast to some people around. That, you know, I was just like, these guys have no fucking clue. And then Phil the Thrill came in, and I'm like, okay, Phil the Thrill, you know, like, he talks a lot, sure. He's a nice guy, he's really passionate, and I can understand that he's someone that they were scared of in terms of if things don't go their way, he's more uncontrollable. And and what happened was, with the Hon Tour stuff, completely shit, but well, I'll talk about if I think they're going to do another season, but all this kind of build-up, I was just like, I ripped S2 Games off in such a big way in my head. And then Scott Valencia shows up. Now, Scott Valencia, I'd heard, had been somewhere within Heroes of New Earth, but I haven't seen him or heard from him for ages. And Scott Valencia, if you don't know him, I can give you some stories in a second, but he's a pretty weird individual. So, regarded in esports across the top, if you can call top tier management, which is top of ESLs, top of DreamHacks, everybody will just would never work with Scott Valencia. In my opinion, it would just be like, no, are you fucking kidding me?
There's a tweet from Robert.
Yeah, I've got it up here. Trance, if you want to show my monitor real quick. Please continue, though.
So, apparently, one of the guys, which was Killer Orange, who was involved in production, producer at Hontor, which is obviously, you know, Honcast, which they kind of took into their company, similar to Riot owning commentators like D-Man and all this other stuff. He's one of the producers in Breaker CBK. Apparently, when they were doing a show, Killer Orange basically said, I met Scott Valencia for the first time after working here for X, you know, months or whatever, and first time I met him, comes down, goes mental at us in terms of, tells us we're expendable, tells us like, you know, we need to do a better job and all this other stuff. And then after meeting him, Killer Orange, who's also worked at MLG, by the way, basically put in his notice. So he was like, who the fuck is this, you know, guy? And I spoke to all these people. I didn't speak to Hazan. I dropped Phila through a message, but I didn't want to go into as deep. And I just basically got feedback of like, yeah, you know, sure. And I spoke to Breaker CBK, and I was like, hey man, what's going on in this whole situation? And he's like, well, I've done a forum post, which basically says, oh, you know, we're pretty much really fine with it all. Didn't deny if Scott Valencia turned up, but he's just basically like, S2 games,
Yeah.
I believe. But of course, that's probably because Breaky CBK, as far as I can tell, is on the edge of a nervous breakdown, because I've never seen commentary done so oddly in all my life. And Breaky CBK, I'm calling you out, because when you did your Honcast finals and you talk very fast, I don't know if you think it's your niche in terms of like, I can talk fast, I should use this more. But you were completely just couldn't understand you.
Unintelligible.
And it just made the whole thing weird. So please readdress your play-by-play commentary, because you've gone off on the deep end. It's like an intervention. Super nice guy. He's done so much for Hon. You know, I can't really. It's not fair to give bad feedback. Then, so Scott Valencia, who's this guy that's not meant to be involved in all this kind of stuff, is like apparently doing a lot of their business development and marketing, and apparently he's bringing in lots of players from Korea and other places to Hon. And it's like, well, that's great. Scott Valencia is the same person that sat next to me at BlizzCon 2008 after all the CPL drama, which is like, you know, the prize payouts, like weird shady stuff of the company, and actually was sat next to Tanya Walsh, who was the other person that made a whole forum thread basically saying never trust this guy. I was like, this is fucking weird. So I'm sat with them at BlizzCon 2008, and Scott Valencia's like super nice to me, right? Yeah, because it's like he hasn't done business with me yet. and I'm like, and I just remember him coming up with this great idea of telling me what he wanted to do with DreamHack. And what he wanted to do with DreamHack was he wanted to work with, like, you know, Robert, if it was him at the time, but I can't remember the previous owner. And he was just telling me that, yeah, man, want to get involved, you know, because DreamHack, what we could do is we could like basically ramp it up on the stock market, you know, make it worth loads, and then just flog it off to the Chinese. And then get out, which is how he does companies. He goes in, he tries to do something fucking weird and shady, as in like bump up and then send it off to the Chinese. and I'm just like, you're fucking crazy, mate. I was just like, DreamHack's a really fucking good business. They don't, I mean, what? And so this guy is, in my opinion, just someone who's, like, normally we've weeded out a lot of the shit in esports over the time, you know, like people have come and failed, some of them have failed legitimately and it was upsetting, some of them have failed because they're either just fucking retarded. And the Scott Valencia guy, I am just like, fuck, this guy's like, no. And, but it's like, yeah, he's been in S2 for a long time, and in terms of a new Hon tour, we talked about that. If Hon have the players and you're a player in Hon and you enjoy the game, keep playing it, but go in with low expectations. Also, if there is a decent player base, and I haven't seen it recently, right? I don't know the numbers.
It's about 100,000 worldwide. That includes Southeast Asia, South America.
100,000
concurrent.
Concurrent.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Hon will probably then be able to do another Hon tour. So if you want to play for prize money and you're a pro player, they'll probably be able to do Season 2, based off those numbers against the marketing costs and the expense. If you're looking to switch to Dota 2, it's not a bad decision.
Yeah.
Well, some teams did. Or
I heard
Well,
most
a
of the
couple,
Hon
two
players are
teams,
gonna-
two teams decided to switch to Dota 2 after the finals.
there were quite a few players that said they're gonna switch.
Yeah, I mean, but it's an interesting position, right? Because if the top teams are saying, okay, this game is dead, whatever, we're moving to Dota 2, the not so good players suddenly say, okay, this game probably has one more year, right? And if the prize money is almost the same, what was it, $60,000
Yeah.
prize pool?
For the
Maybe I
finals.
probably have a better shot of just staying at home, playing, because now the competition is moving to Dota 2. And
Well, it's ultimately, do you want to be the big fish in the small pond,
Yeah,
or
Exactly. It's the farm league.
the
It's
ocean,
become the farm
so.
game, essentially. It seems like that, where you're going to have the teams that are going to work their way up in Han, dominate Han, and then be like, okay, it's time to move on to, the greener pastures, the bigger lake. And
I mean, realistically, they
Wow.
can make more money, like, equally skilled. You can make more money in HON than in Dota 2 just because Dota 2 scene has
more
higher level.
competitive, sure. Yeah.
I mean, it does, sorry if you like HON, but I mean, the Chinese, and there's a lot of big scene involved in Dota 2. But also, it's a matter of time, right? The way it looks like, a thermometer of the game is also like how the casual player base reacts. And when the casual player base is annoyed at your company because of something esports related, which they shouldn't care about, because the casual player base, they just play.
oh yeah, you have the
Someone linked it in chat. Can I give it to you, Sam?
Yeah.
Are you on Skype?
Well,
The Robert one.
it's
No.
like
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
no, I'm not on Skype.
I'm
The
gonna
Robert
put it
picture
in.
is
really
I'm
good.
gonna put it in under ESWC here. Can you grab that?
I want to
You
see.
got it there. This one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll bring it up in a second. Yeah, sorry to go on such a rant. But
No,
I have a lot of
No,
background.
you missed the best part. It was 6 minutes in.
Don't worry.
That's
What?
the best part. That's
Jesus.
What 6 minutes in?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Just use Chrome, man.
Is this your first time using a computer, Semmler?
Well, what do you
No.
want at 6 minutes in, Chance?
In that VOD, that's an actually kid stuff. It's 6 minutes in. That's when it works.
But is, are you
Oh.
linking?
Time stuff is told me.
I have
Is
to
that
update
like when you see
plugins. Why the
dangerous
fuck do I
No,
stuff
have to
no,
in front
go
of
with
the
Chrome.
camera and stuff?
Chrome.
That's how it works.
Chrome.
just do Chrome.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know.
Pause it and let it work.
And someone said that S2 Games didn't want me to cast Hon in one of the forum threads, and that's why I'm salty. To
What?
clarify,
What?
I really like Hon, and I played it a lot in beta, and I wanted to actually do Heroes of Newer for ESL. But when I was working with ESL, I'm not the most model employee. I might have the best results in terms of shows and stuff. But they were like, ESL actually said like, oh, we can go check it out. This is the intro. We can go to it now, and then this is how they kind of introduced some stuff.
There's a
With the
there's a
wildcard
guy
team.
there. There's
Yeah.
a host.
There is
And
a
that
guy there.
is the one and only Lions Esports Club. Starting off with the team, they're led by their captain and jungle player, Hanskin.
And
Yes, the
Oh.
smoke. Look at that.
Yeah, we got a smoke.
and
Needs
no,
lighting
no
when you got
audience,
smoke.
like no response either.
Where's the light?
Computers.
All right. Next up,
They
we got
playing in a
the
cave.
suicide roll, Krebson.
So this is the Heroes of Newer Grand Finals. They gave the prize money. The teams competed. I mean, some guy basically just thought like.
After
he
that,
went
playing
into a
some
shop
hard
and
carry
then he was like,
is
"We're doing this."
Glenzmeister.
No, it's 1 minute into.
And basically, whoever was in charge of the setting and lighting
On the
basically
solo
went into a
ganker
shop
roll, we
and
got
was like, "Hey,
Super
mate, we're doing this show."
KGE.
And someone told him smoke machines. Lady Gaga has smoke machines. And he was like, what else do I need? He's like, nothing.
but not
Once you've
least,
got a smoke
on
machine,
support,
everything
Seal
just comes together.
Kid.
We're waiting because there's like
I want that.
the host tries to make it more exciting. It's like and one
That'll
of them-
round it out for your Lions Esports Club. Good luck, guys. Woo, 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 woo.
Yo, this guy
All right,
definitely gets
next
an
up.
A for effort.
This is the
man.
third
Nah,
seed.
I can't even.
We have-
I can't even
no,
imagine.
First time, he's probably a nice guy, and
Yeah.
he seemed a bit crazy, but I want to find, by the way, actually some of the fucking what's it called? Some of the commentary by Breaky CD Play during play-by-play, because it was on a whole nother level, but it doesn't see it's in there. I want to see if there's a big team fight going on. Here's a team fight. No, we get sound. Come on, quick.
Monkey King is trying to do his thing right here. Struck that gonna be for
is
Red
it
Jack.
him? It might not have been him at the end.
You know, James, if you want to do something like this,
Good
you know what you
open on
should
the
have
Red
done?
Jack. Red Jack being locked down. In comes
Preparation.
Salvazar. Keeping the force where it's gonna be right there. Monkey King is trying to do his thing right here. Struck that gonna be for Red Jack. She will eventually blink away. Tempest still doesn't have an ultimate just yet. Monkey King in the foreground will finish off Luna. There's the Conchero gonna be used once again. Will he open on the Red Jack? Yes. There we go with the open. Watch it left and the first time Codex actually used right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it does sound like a bit of an auctioneer.
Comet going to be put down. Fly
It was
Tempest.
faster than an auctioneer.
If you go to
and-
like, isn't it at 6:30 where it's like they're just gonna start it and someone just walks in front of the camera, like starts looking into the camera and then walks by. It's like, what?
But it was like some of his commentary when he was going really fast. There wasn't even real words in there, half words, and it was odd. Anyway, play the game if you like to, but it's a huge, colossal fuck up, and we'll be washing our hands of it for the longest period to come.
I feel bad for that host. That's such a shitty situation.
I think it was his first time as well.
That's such a shitty situation.
I mean, it was all organized by ES2, right?
Yeah.
They were saying they did not like they want to hire an external company. Maybe they saw what Valve did. I said we want to do the same as Valve. You know, Valve.
Well, they've been working on this before Valve and
Yeah.
did their stuff, like the Hontor. It's
And even
odd.
then, like Valve brings
Alright, well,
outside production.
But you know who they can hire? Let's go in. Put in Hero Level Productions.
HeroLevel.com,
Yes.
I believe.
HeroLevel.com. They can hire these guys. Basically, NASL have started a new business route. We found it quite a while ago, Mike.
Yeah, people liking it on
Yeah.
HeroLevel.com. This is basically...
This is actually what NASL are maybe moving into a little bit more, because this is their production service team, which is where they do other events. And if you actually look at the like kind of clients and stuff and services, you can actually see it is. Yeah, I know Semmler's just waking the fuck up. You can actually see it's NASL, who are the people behind this company. So
Oh, no, you...
we
Oh,
crashed
wait,
it.
wait, wait.
Can you go our clients?
Okay, we
Did
can do our
mention?
clients.
Our clients. And
NASL.
Yeah, but you can see in terms of who they've worked for, it's NASL. So maybe
S2
Hon
games.
can hire.
Well, I mean, they ran Han. Remember, they
No,
ran
they ran
Han
Han like a
during
year ago.
Season 2. So, I mean, they didn't run Han Season 3. So, I mean, I don't know. S2 may not have been thrilled. Maybe S2 now is going to go back and be like, yeah, what NASL did, that was not so bad. Bang for the buck relative to what they just did with this. So, I mean, but was that our next topic? Going on
Exactly,
to
that's a good
NASL?
segue
What
to
they're
get
going to
into
be doing?
NASL, because that is our next topic. It's kind of, well, we have a line here. The future of NASL, Dota 2 event production. So already we have that as far as event production is concerned.
Yeah.
But there was a Reddit thread recently, last week, speculating NASL's move into Dota 2.
Well, to sum it up, essentially, there's been obviously massive amounts of discussion and drama. We'll talk more about WCS later in the StarCraft segment at the end of the show, but NASL obviously
Getting shut out.
left out of the pie. They couldn't even help cover WCS qualifiers because they wanted to have it on their own stream, yada, yada, yada. And so recently, you know, there's been a lot of talk. Are they going to start doing Dota? There's been a big topic on the subreddit. Blitz has been hinting quite heavily. Clutch has been in every stream chat ever being like, Dota 2.
What do you think about us doing
then,
Dota 2? Would you like us doing Dota 2?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be awesome if we did Dota 2?
Well, it's like Greetorp is spending a lot of time
Yeah,
with
well,
them as
Greetorp's been doing the
Everyone.
show with Blitz. A lot of their commentators have been playing Dota 2. And then if you follow Russelo on Twitter, he's the CEO, I guess, of
Of NASL.
NASL, or maybe Hero Level, I guess, is now the parent company. But he was retweeting some like random nobodies who were tweeting to
Saying,
him,
"Yeah,
saying they
Dota
should do
2."
Dota. And then, of course, all of a sudden the StarCraft community is like, on the StarCraft subreddit, show NASL support for staying in StarCraft 2. So, I mean, I think it's a big question mark. I mean, we've been saying before what's going to happen with NASL. I think it's a big question mark.
I mean, from Reddit, the thread, Reddit thread. You know, Blitz is, for those of you who don't know, it's a famous streamer from Dota 2. And he has been doing Newbie Friday with them, with the NSL. Like, I think 3 weeks ago, they switched to Dota 2 and they're doing Newbie Fridays Dota 2 every single time.
Well, I believe they also still do StarCraft 2 with Lauren Elise that day. So it's like a 2-show thing.
But aren't they
so.
doing something on Thursdays with Blitz as well?
Yeah,
Isn't
I've
it
been
like
watching that.
Greator playing on Fridays and Blitz playing on Thursdays?
No,
and Blitz,
they play together on the same day.
I think they just
But
kind of
Blitz
rotate.
plays first
plays
and
a
then
game
Greator
and then
plays.
teaches a hero and then goes.
Yeah,
It's actually really good.
And
I
it's-
watched
the
it.
format is nice.
been good.
The thing is that Blitz was in these threads posting a video. It's like a random video, but the title of the video was "It's Closer Than You Think," and that pretty much hints towards NASL going into Dota 2.
Well, I mean, Russell was also tweeting just like, there can't be another NASL season the way there has been. Like, there could possibly be StarCraft content, but you can't get the players, you can't. And I mean, kind of said before, but it's like, how does NASL sell a sponsorship of a StarCraft 2 league when it's like, okay, the sponsor's looking at your league, and then it's like, well, let's look at, the competitors in the marketplace. And it's like, we could sponsor you, or we could sponsor your competitor who is endorsed by the game developer. It's kind of a pretty
exactly
fucking
it.
hard to sell that.
Yeah, I mean, NASL are in a shitty position. We spoke about that earlier, but they're also in a position where if they go into Dota 2, they are going to go up against, firstly, MLG. Because MLG, I think, will be making moves there in the future. It won't be straight away, but I'm pretty sure that something will come out of there. I know that, yeah, obviously, NASL are looking at Dota 2. I think it's great if they pick it up, but the big problem that they have is they need talent. Purge currently goes sometimes. I think I've heard that he's been on MLG stuff. I also know that Sure Blitz comes down to their studio, NASL. I know that, like, you know, Russell, the CEO, has spoken to Beyond the Summit. I know Beyond the Summit have raised money to build their own studio.
Exactly,
So they
50
can't
grand.
really take a shit ton of community money to say we need a studio, blah, 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 and then just go walk into NASL studio and be like...
I mean,
by the way, we got a studio.
yeah, what did you do with the money? And I know that Beyond the Summit are pretty happy with where they are. They like the small independent style of things. And so if NASL go in, they need to come out with a league which is big enough to be like, okay, you've got our attention. And it needs to be the size of what they did in StarCraft 2, like $100,000.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not going to start there, but it's like Beyond the Summit have the best talent over in America to be able to draw people in.
Yeah.
And
Make more sense towards the-
well, but the thing is, and Beyond the Summit, as far as I know, and you know, I think MLG have probably been talking to them as well.
I don't know. It's it'll be interesting in North America because, of course, the other kind of player in North America is EG. Because I mean, D2L has been like the
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
best
sorry.
thing on
AC.
Yeah,
On-
Jocelyn and AC.
on One More Game TV. So I mean, how does NASL coming into this? Obviously, they basically just got burned in StarCraft, I would say. And so
Yeah.
you come in and want to start this, so then you've already got kind of EG, who's like a very successful company that has never taken investment money. They're just building their company up, and then you've got MLG, who is obviously a big VC backing with lots and lots of money. So does NASL want to kind of? I mean, they're not restarting from the start of StarCraft, where their production was like, well, what is this? But like they're established in that end, but it is like you're restarting a new fan base. I think some fans would actually even switch.
Transition, yeah.
But it is still like very much, going back. So it's a tough spot if they want to do a league again.
Yeah, so it's really funny because in Europe you have like studios. You got ESL, join Dota, and us. We're all different.
In terms of Dota?
Dota.
Yes.
So it's like we're all different. We all have different projects. We all work with different partners. So it's no kind of like we don't conflict in terms of people aren't trying to, take employees or things to have the monopoly. In America, Beyond the Summit, NASL and MLG that want to get involved, and then you have on top of that EG moving to San Francisco. Probably doing a new studio with In Control and AC, and want more Dota 2, want more online content, because they have like, they have like some sort of personality or crisis. They don't know what they do as a company. They just try and do everything, and then everyone's going to be fighting over BTS.
Yep.
It's like because obviously it's like people have been trying to employ Andy to say, hey, you want to come over to America and join this company? Andy was like, no. I'm pretty happy with a good studio.
Like playing games.
Sorry, EG. So maybe we'll just take AC. How's that?
Why not?
But I haven't offered him, so he hasn't said no.
But trying to go back to NASL a little bit. It's not all about you, James.
Yeah, James, you fucking cunt.
I think the big problem that NASL has to face if they're going into Dota 2 is not only the talent, because, like, as you said, they can start with something smaller in terms of production, maybe just outsource their first season to BTS and help them set up, and then maybe like work together instead of come to my studio. You have your studio, my studio, something like that. But the big problem with them is like they can't be another $15,000.
Yeah, no, they
over 3 months.
It's got to be big.
I feel like if they came in and were like, we're going to get our toes wet with a $5,000 to $10,000 tournament that's going to run over a month and a half, it would be like, I mean, because it's NASL, it would be like, okay, It wouldn't be as big as they
Maybe.
need it to be unless they have like the top tier talent and get the best teams. And I mean, it's hard too because I mean all the big teams are European, so it's like when you broadcast, I remember when MLG did their show match, they used replays for Dota, and it's like, I mean Dota you don't do replays. I mean StarCraft I think we're finally almost at the point where we don't do replays, but
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. how about
Tell me
that?
more. Tell me more.
yeah, we'll get to that. But I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But I mean, and NASL may not even be in a rush to get into Dota because if Hero level's going well and they're just going to PAXs and whatever else's and producing streams that for people they convince them to pay them to produce them for, right? Like that can be a pretty lucrative business, and you're not throwing down $100,000 on prize money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing is that like if you look at the state of Dota 2 right now in terms of online content, you have EMS online with offline finals, Star Ladder online with offline finals. D2L, I think they want to do, like I've heard at some point that they wanted to do offline
They wanted
finals.
to do it even last season, I think, but
Yeah.
it was like last second they were like, no, we can't do it. So
Yeah, I
just
think. I mean, they
did
want to
online.
grow.
They wanted to do
Everyone
LAN
wants to
finals
grow,
anyways.
right?
And well, I mean, they have to do something like that as well. And I don't know, like if, well, I mean, it's very, very complicated. Oh, I forgot about TPL. Sorry.
But I mean, there's more than that, though. There's RDL coming in, doing another league. It's like, I mean, we've talked about it before. Anyone with a webcam and a computer capable of streaming and $10,000 can host a big Dota tournament, right? Like, that's all that takes.
Hey, we got one of the players, by the way, from the NASL segment that was at the Hon Tour said that he'd like to come on the show and
Yeah,
say some what
fantastic.
he wants because he said some of my details were a tad off, which I'm sure they were.
This is one of the players from what team?
Are we
What's his
actually
name?
gonna have
Do we-
balanced
Team.
news?
Well,
What?
can you
How can we do this?
And you need to get on Twitter first and like get this guy to be
Oh,
like,
jeez. All right, we'll have this guy on in about 45 minutes, guys. Don't worry. This is
James, what player?
Have to entertain them. Do you know how to juggle?
sound like
it's
this.
Carl
Right.
Friedman.
Oh, Swindle Melons.
Huh?
Swindle Melons.
Oh yeah, you used to cast on.
Huh?
You used to
Yeah.
cast on.
You know these people.
I got him on Skype as well.
What is it?
You got him on Skype?
Yeah.
Do you want to just log into your Skype over
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, sure.
Just walk in front of the
Yeah.
camera.
Oh,
it's fine.
Mike.
jeez.
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
gosh.
And then we're just.
Production value.
got him on Skype still.
He's probably.
Now we're all in black.
We are. I mean, any other thoughts you guys have about NASL? I mean, I'll just kind of
NASL?
stay tuned, see what they're going to do.
And
I-
apart from them
I
scrambling,
know.
that's- All right, go ahead, Bruno.
Will Lauren Elise come to Dota?
I mean, they've already spent months and months trying to get her out of Silver League and StarCraft, so...
What's up? Is that him?
I,
Yeah. Carl Friedman. We're on Skype on Weppas' account. We're waiting for you to get online because you're not there yet.
If he's got the same Skype, of course.
If you've got the same.
If it's still the
That's
same
the one
Skype.
he added me from for like DreamHack Winter or something. So
Oh, DreamHack Winter used that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tweet at James if
that's
you
the
need
last
something
time I talked
different.
to him.
What's his tweet? What's his
I'm
Twitter?
not
anyways?
scared my information's a tad off,
It's in chat.
but generally, that's too sad.
Hmm.
People spam it everywhere.
I can't see chat because Twitch is shit and it's not fucking loading the chat.
No, it's
Oh.
broken.
Look!
Go to fucking.
what do you need chat
The
for?
flash plugin is fucked. Look.
Just
Yeah.
put it in the document.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
One day.
One day,
One day. Sponsored
everything
by
will
Coca-Cola.
run smoothly.
Should be having
Yo,
orange
I
juice
think
when
we
you
got
wake
him.
up, James, not Coca-Cola.
All right, well, it's a good thing he's watching the show. He's logged in. Apparently, he's retired this Skype a year ago, but
Oh, he did.
Okay.
Well, I had him for DreamHack
All right.
Winter.
So
see if we can get him on here.
We'll chill the studio out, so make sure we get Carl Friedman on, who is Swindle.
Swindle Melons.
How,
or
how did
Melons.
he? How did he do at the event? Oh, he's here.
I believe they won. He's on Stay Green, so I think they won.
Oh,
Alright.
he's gonna...
All right,
I've got things to
Carl, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, hello, welcome to the Good Show. We're doing it live. So you were a player that was at the participated in Hon Tour. Is it correct to say with Weppas' information? When we talk about stuff, we talk about more the business side. But Weppas said that. Did you win it?
Yeah, I'm the captain of Stay Green. We did win.
ah, fantastic! Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great.
Yeah, it really means a lot coming from you guys. Thanks.
Look, I mean, it's a really good, It was kind of like one of those big warm-ups, isn't it? It'd be great when you win a real esport event.
True. But I will say the money we received was definitely real.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said at the beginning of the Hon section was if you look at what is esports, it's getting the best players in a competitive environment playing on LAN for prize money, and they did that. You felt that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you want to talk about? What did you want to say? And bear in mind, S2 Games are watching.
Of course, I already got many Skypes the second this blew up on chat, but I just wanted to correct you guys on a couple details. I'm not going to argue that the opening ceremony could have been improved. Like let's be honest with ourselves. That definitely
Good understatement.
But the one thing I just wanted to talk about was you guys are talking about teams switching. There's only one player who's confirmed he's switching to Dota 2. And no one is going to miss him. No teams have disbanded.
Not even his mum?
Huh?
Not even his mum's going to miss him?
Well, no one from the game will, at least. He actually used to cast for S2, but he's got kind of a reputation as a prima donna. So
What's his name?
Tralf?
Yeah,
Charles Amador, yes.
Yeah.
Mark C. actually is his name.
Weppas knows. Weppas knows.
But
He actually worked for S2 as a caster, which makes it even more ironic because... I mean, they hired him after he made a post that said, in essence, Han sucks and switching to Dota 2, but they hired him anyway, so there have been questionable decisions made.
yeah,
But
I mean, in all fairness, it seems like S2 hire employees like trans will pick up women at a bar. It's just fucking anybody and everybody. Whoever's available is their esport team. So not surprised there. But obviously you wanted to talk about the players switching. That was, I felt like, more of a minor part, but it's interesting to know because I basically said, I think there will be another Hon tour. If you like playing the game, continue to play it. If you got your prize money, which you obviously have, right? You got prize money from the tour so far?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've made, I don't know, probably 80 to 100,000 so far as a team from Hon tour. So.
Okay, yeah. And then, I mean, but
We've outside of the international, Han's actually had more prize money in this year. And again, while there was definitely a fiasco at the finals, it's actually the best. It's funny because this is literally, an embarrassing mark on Han, but at the same time, in comparison to last year's December through April, there was zero prize money, there was nothing going on. And while now, yes, you have poor production at the LAN finals, this is still, kind of Han on the rise at the best it's ever been. I've been playing for a long, 3.5 years, so.
Okay. So what else did you want to mention about Hon tour? Apart from teams aren't just switching, which as I mentioned, I talked a lot about Scott Valencia. I talked a lot about Orange Killer.
He really liked Killer Orange. He was a really good guy. I mean, he was probably one of my favorite people at the company. That's why it was kind of a shame he got fired. I honestly don't know really.
Well, he put his notice in apparently.
Yeah,
he
was not at the event, which could have. Obviously he was head of production, and he left a week before the biggest event that S2 ever threw. So you can interpret that as you wish, but he was definitely one of the best guys at the company, and it's a shame he left. I don't really know about the whole Scott Valencia thing.
Well, that just gives him more credit to what he said, because Breaky CBK said to me, kind of no comment, I've made a forum post, which didn't really clear much up apart from kind of reassertified he loves Hon and S2 Games, and the people there are very passionate about what they do.
Yeah,
but how do you find the company outside of this Orange Killer? Like, how did you find working with them? Like, you have a good kind of impression on what S2
it's
Games?
It's hard to explain. The people who actually did the work at the event, like the literal 3-man production team that was there, like they worked their ass off and they didn't sleep the night before. And that the same goes with even the casters. I mean, obviously you make fun of Breaky a bit, but he's passionate and he works hard.
Yeah.
The problem was really the leadership and direction at the event because.
But my
stepmom was watching, and she wasn't sure if the project manager should have either didn't exist because there were so many things just easily overlooked, just from the lighting to the way the chairs were positioned to giving interviews, because you're sitting next to each other on a casting couch instead of properly in chairs. But the real problem I feel came from the actual way it was handled and overseen.
But
the actual people there doing the work are really passionate.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
good at
I
it.
completely understand that, but doesn't that concern you that if you want to put in your time into this as a career, that you're essentially backing a company that you don't sound too sure about the heads of the company and how they handle their business? I mean, that's kind of like the choice of why you go with one company and another. I mean, it's like you love Hon, right? So that's probably the ultimate decision, deciding factor, and you're very good at it. But does it not? Would you not prefer? Like,
I mean, look, if you're asking whether or not we'd rather be Na'Vi versus like Stay Green and Han, I mean that's a question, but it's not really a choice between that. It's more, do you want to drop everything you've done for the past 3.5 years?
everything that's happened with S2 Games in terms of just all the stuff that's kind of been built up and how the community the reception that they have now to S2 Games is obviously...
You've done for the past 3.5 years.
Yeah, but it's like, does it not concern you that you think, well, do I feel comfortable as a player putting in my time into this game professionally, maybe full-time, which maybe, I don't know if you are, you can tell us, but to have faith in them doing this, or could I just go to Dota 2 where Valve don't seem to really fuck up at all? It's a world of difference between a company like Valve, even Blizzard, compared to S2 Games.
It's not really that easy for us. I mean, obviously there's backstory on us you don't know, but we moved into a team house on our own dime in February, so we kind of need money in order to pay bills and the rent. So right now, if we switch to Dota 2, we would still be pretty bad, obviously, for a very long time. I mean, it took Fnatic like a year to gain respect in the community about that, and while they are obviously still Han trash, they have done fairly well for themselves.
No, they've done great. But do you think though at least teams consider it? And do you think sometimes it comes back to how S2 Games have handled their stuff? Or do you think teams overlook that and there's prize money, there's good tournaments, we're happy?
I mean, I wouldn't say we're happy. There's definitely an incredible amount of things to improve, which I could spend a lot of time talking about. But, I mean, right now, like you said, you liked Han at a time, but it was handled terribly. I mean, from a player's point of view, I really enjoy playing the game, and it's hard to just throw away years of time you've put in.
You're never going to be a professional gamer in a game you don't love. So, I mean, Han is a game that a lot of people play. So we already are professional gamers, is the thing. Yeah, I mean, we make a considerable amount of money from the game, and yes, terrible, yada yada, but the fact of the matter is we kind of, if we're going to get paid to do it, and we enjoy what we do, why stop? Yep. I guess that's one way of looking at it. I mean it's...
all I really wanted to say was that no one's going to miss Tralfador, and yes, the production was a fiasco, no one's going to dispute that, but there will be a Hantor Season 2. It will be... would you agree at least that it can't get worse than Hantor Season 1?
Oh, whoa, no, we don't go there.
I don't want to knock on wood here, but I'm pretty sure...
I mean, I'm tuning in hoping that it does, because that's the fun factor. No, but some of the stops were great. The stop they did at DreamHack, fantastically run.
Yeah, it was really nice.
DreamHack Winter, when they were on site there. It was great.
Booth was always packed.
Booth was good, and it was really good. It was just surprising, and it made me think, what's going on with S2 Games. But anyway, thanks, Swindle, for coming on and just talking shit as we do. Talk shit as well.
You know Matthias Bayer, of course, right? He said he used to room with you, a long time ago?
Matthias?
Met.
Who?
Matt. I don't know. Half German, half Thai.
Oh, yeah.
We actually went to the GSL in Thailand and spent a great deal of time with him. He had fond things to say of you.
Yeah, he nicknamed me Kebab Talik because we used to go to a kebab place together, and the guy behind Shit Story, I just used to say that, and then he'd just be like, Kebab Talik. So that's my nickname to Matthias. He's a nice guy. He's a really good guy.
Yeah. He's sticking with Han, so maybe.
Well, he's good. You've got one good guy.
I didn't mean to fluff or not fluff, the game I play. I just wanted to give you a different perspective. So sorry if you guys think this was too positive.
No, it's good to hear
But
from you.
I'm just trying to say, like, we got. I went to Thailand, got to stay there for an extra week because of Han. Went to Vegas, saw Mystere at Treasure Island. Like,
I mean, you've been like the best place in the world to get hookers. I mean, why the fuck did you change the game? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Thailand, it's like $60, whereas in Vegas it's more $500.
So you know the markets. That's good. You haven't been wasting your time.
Good for next
An
year.
informed
Alright.
person.
It's good for next year.
Well, Han gives people a sex life. Continue, my friend. Thank you, Swindle, for coming on, and don't worry, you won't get in trouble for this.
Man, anytime you
And say hi to your stepman.
Of course.
All right,
Will do.
take it
Have a
easy.
good-
Take it easy. So that was Swindle. Basically, wanted to talk about players aren't switching, which is like more to the point that we talked about Han Tour. Is there going to be a second series? Players probably yes. We thought probably yes with just the number size of what you guys told us. But it's just that's so. A company can't bring up this much attention media for itself by making mistakes. It should be the other way around. You get attention for doing good shit, and I haven't. It's unfortunate. Sure, I made fun of Breaky CBK for his style of commentary, but I think that was very justified. But we'll leave it.
Yep. Alright, we have one more general news. And then
Yeah, we do.
That was cool. I like it when we do live stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's relevant.
He had a lot to say, and he really wanted to iterate his point. So I felt like he tried to, as in like,
I feel more informed now. I don't know about you.
So sorry, you guys in chat, if you felt like it went on a bit long, but it's
it's
there's
good
the
to get
winner of
the
the
second
tournament
side.
and had something good they
Exactly.
wanted to say, and it's nice.
All
that he
right,
came
general
on our show,
news.
so
We're an hour
thank
in
you,
each.
Swindle.
Thank you. The last topic in the general news is ESWC 2013 has been announced. It's going to be happening in Paris Games Week once again in October. October 30th to November 3rd is when the event will be happening. No games or details have been announced yet. We just know that they've signed on for
What was
the
the
second
date
time,
again?
for the third
Sorry.
time running. Pardon me?
What was the date?
The 30th, October 30th through November 3rd. So pretty much the same as last year.
What happened? No, what happened last year with the ESWC?
It was in
conflicted
November,
with
end of-
something big.
MLG, whatever MLG was at the time, it was at the same time.
Yeah.
yeah.
So players had to make the decision between
Yeah, but also
there,
Dota
here,
too,
Quantic
like-
Hawk.
Yeah, Easy
but
money
that
and
was just,
prestige.
Really bad.
Also, Stefano failed to
But it
win.
was
He
like
got knocked
3
out in the
weeks before
semis.
Like I remember in Dota 2, the biggest team there was I think Fnatic, and it was Fnatic back then when they were not.
No, wasn't it Navi and Dignitas was there? And Navi
In
was just like,
ESWC?
yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I'm thinking of WCG. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Navi was there. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, you're right, you're
Navi
right,
and
yes.
Dignitas, and it was
Yeah.
like those two in finals or something. But it was like a really bad tournament because
Wasn't it a bunch of no-shows? They had to pull in French teams left and right, like
Yeah, yeah.
randoms,
Yeah, that
because
was
there were
one.
no-shows
Team
that just
Baguette
couldn't
or
make it.
whatever.
Yeah, there were 3 French teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
So, the guy that probably knows the most about ESWC is actually Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
So Richard Lewis was because you went at the event.
Yeah, I
right?
was there.
You
I
were
was
there,
there.
yeah. But Richard
the
Lewis
duration.
was the guy that was there, had been there previously, and then had been there today. So Semmler's first time showing up, he's
It was
like,
my
"Oh,
first time.
this is ESWC."
I was just
And
like,
Richard Lewis is like,
yeah.
"No, this is a shadow of its former self."
Yeah.
But
It was.
the thing is that they're still around and still doing stuff and bringing in partners. That's overall good. If they can get up to a level that other people are now on, like DreamHack, MLGs, ESLs, that's even better. I think Richard Lewis, if you just like if you want to check out what Richard Lewis has to say about it, you really just need to type Richard Lewis ESWC YouTube, and you'll see stuff from 2012, interview of Stefano, and even a walk around tour, and you can kind of get a general
from
feel of it.
2011.
So it's like it's kind of like how you look at WCG these days. It's like you're happy it's still there. You really go, I hope they do good, and then you just get slightly disappointed, and then you're like, wow, I didn't really expect it to be great. But it'll be interesting to see what they do, because it's going to be hard for them going into like StarCraft now.
Well, it's just
What kind of
repeating.
pool
It's,
they're gonna
it's
have.
repeating, isn't it? Because they're the whole impression that you got last year when you were at ESWC is that ESWC wasn't the main event. Obviously, it was Paris Games Week, and ESWC was this little, like, I don't want to say
Bubble?
tumor that kind of like fastened itself on there, but they were just there as a side thought almost, because the
I mean,
the rest
it
of the
could
event
be
was
good.
all Paris Games Week.
I think it's just all up in the air. If they have a good prize pool for Dota, I think that will attract some good teams. And I think if they have a good prize pool for StarCraft, and they could get some WCS points
Yes,
for that.
WCS.
That could be the last stop before BlizzCon, and people will be like, holy shit, I need these points. So, you never know.
ESWC in Dota, now that you mentioned, still has the honor of being the 2011 one. It was the only Western event that had a Chinese team. Competing. Western land. Was
really?
I mean, of course, apart from the
The old
international
Eon,
match.
right?
Yeah.
What?
With the old E-Home or the
Yeah, the old
old
E-Home,
yeah.
just after the first international, well, E-Home came second, and they flew to Paris to play in ESWC.
Yeah, ESWC used to do Dota.
Man, they did
Warcraft
go after, we'll
3
see what
and
they,
Quake
that's
3.
the thing. We have to clarify that they haven't announced the games yet. So we're still on the fence as to what's going to be played.
Yeah.
We can assume Dota 2, CS:GO, and StarCraft being the main ones. FIFA was also big there last year. So I mean,
Trackmania.
Trackmania as well.
Are we going to see Shootmania
Shootmania.
done by the same
I mean,
company?
home turf,
Made,
man. It's on the home
Oh,
turf.
it's
I'd be
likely.
surprised if they didn't.
No, there will be Shootmania there, and yeah.
Yeah. So there we have it. ESWC have been announced. But before we get into Dota 2, we're going to take a quick break.
Yep.
5-minute break.
Let's take a massive break.
Massive
A
break.
quick break.
We'll be
go
back in
for
an
a
hour.
walk.
Tacos are upstairs. But we'll be back in 5 minutes' time, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go
How
anywhere.
many minutes?
Emphasis. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10
Do you think
minutes.
this is really annoying?
10 minutes. Yes, it is. It is.
There's no 10-minute break.
5 minutes.
5 minutes at most.
I
Should be
am
a
lying.
3-minute
5
break,
minutes.
Waste
right?
of time. You get 4.5.
Be right back.
2.
It takes cats 4 minutes.